Hey guys, this is a video tutorial on a little bit of the configuration of a Bukkit server. So after you create your Bukkit server, you're going to have all these files and folders and things, and you might wonder to yourself, what does all this mean? Um, so first off, the plugins folder is it's just a folder that houses all of your plugins. Um, they are all .jar plugins that you can download from various websites. They all do different things, and you can read into that a little bit more. Your world file is your overworld, um, just pretty much all the data for your overworld, like who's been there, um, stuff like that. World Nether and the end are also the same. Banned IPs are the victim's name, so the player that you want to ban, their Minecraft name, the date that they are banned until, the date that they begin to be banned. I believe that you type it the day, month, year. Who they are banned by, the date they are banned to, same format as this, and why they were banned. So it'll tell them you were banned because whatever, by whatever player banned them. The banned players is was that what I was just in? No. So the banned IP, sorry, that is the entire IP for that Wi-Fi source. You can ban any player on that IP, and the banned player is just the specific player. So bukkit.yml settings allow end if you want players to be able to travel to the end. Set false if you don't want them to. Warn on overload. Just if the server is having lag issues and things, it'll give you a little message. You can set that to false. It doesn't really matter. Your ops, just type the player name that you want to have all commands to, all your default permissions, as well as any plugin permissions that get added as well. They'll have permission to everything. So you just type their name and then hit enter. Type someone else's name or whatever. What else? Your permissions.yml if you want to use this as your permissions for who has what permissions, like what commands they can do, things like that. Your run.bat obviously will start up your server. Your server log just tells you what has happened in the server. The server.properties. The generator settings, I believe that if you want it to be normal, flatland, I believe those are your choices. I believe that's the only setting that you can do at this time. Allow nether if you want players to be able to travel to the nether. Set that to false if you don't want them to be able to. The level name, world, it's set by default. You can call it blah blah blah, whatever you want to call it, and that will generate new files for your worlds. Call it world, whatever I just said there, world underscore nether, blah blah blah. Allow flight if players are flying on your server, whether they are using a hacked or a modded client, or if they're in creative. If it's set to false, it's possible they may be kicked for flying. Set it to true to allow players to fly. The port is, you probably just want to leave it the way it is, 25565. The level seed, if there's a single player seed that you really like, you can generate your world that way. The IP, if you're using Hamachi or something, you have to type in the IP here. The max build height is how high a player can place a block, and that's up from bedrock. Spawn NPCs if you want players or if you want NPCs to spawn in villages and from eggs. Whitelist if you want your whitelist to be active, so only players on that list can join. Spawn animals if you want animals to spawn. Snooper if Minecraft can monitor what you're doing on your server. Hardcore by default set to false. If you set it to true, once a player dies, they will be banned from the server. A texture pack, you have to have a direct link to the texture pack download if you want all players to use that texture pack, so they can't use like X-ray texture packs, things like that. Online mode true by default. Set it to false if you want people with hacked clients to be able to join your server. PvP, set it to false if you do not want people to be able to hit each other. Difficulty 0 peaceful, 1 easy, 2 normal, and 3 hard. So by default it is set to easy. When players spawn for the first time, what game mode they will spawn in. 0 being survival, 1 being creative, and 2 being adventure mode. If you are running on 1.3 or above. Max players, how many people can be on your server at once? If you find your server to be lagging with that set amount of players, you may want to turn that down. Spawn monsters if you want them to be able to spawn from an egg or naturally from spawners as well. Generate structures if you want villages to spawn. The view distance, don't change that. And MOTD stands for message of the day. When players when they go to your server, what it says, by default it's a Minecraft server, you can set it to whatever you want. You can set it as long as you want, I believe, but once you get into how much ping the server has and things, it goes behind that, so you may not be able to see the whole message. And your whitelist was one of the server properties. Just like the band, set the people that you want to be able to join your server. I think if you are host, you can join, whether you are whitelisted or not. So just set people's names like that, and separated by enters. So that is it. That's pretty much your configuration for a Bukkit server. Thanks for watching, guys.